Good morning. This is Joe Shoop. You've joined the Breakfast Club, and we are at the top of the hour that I can see, unless my computer, phone, or clock is wrong, but we'll just get going here. I don't see Joe. Good morning. Good morning. Joined the Breakfast Club. We're going to make a few... Hey, Boomer, if you Skype Joe, maybe he's having a hard time getting in. I don't see him. Joe, are you there? Nope, I don't see him there. Oh, no, is that him? Nope, there you go. Good morning, Dennis.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning. Did you get my message, Dennis?
Yeah, I did. No problem. Don't worry about it. No problem.
Good. Thank you. If for some reason I disappear, I've actually been cut off twice again this morning. If so, and I'm silent, well, keep moving. Well, good morning, everyone. Let me do some house stuff here and turn it off. Okay, and let's go ahead and mute the entire
conference muted.
And go back in and undo a few of these. There's Taylor. Gotcha. And Deanna. There we go. So you guys are, your lines are open also, Deanna and Taylor, so be aware of that. And I do hear some background noise somewhere from somebody, and the speaker, everybody's muted, so it's got to be one of the speakers. Be careful. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. I have 11:03 here this morning, so we'll get going right away. But I want to welcome two people here on the panel, which is Taylor Eckert from New Jersey, a Jersey girl, and Deanna Kennedy from Minnesota. So, and please do not Skype and go look them up. And, you know, we've had this happen in the past, and people trying to recruit once they realize their names and where they're from. I had somebody do that in the past and then go try to recruit them to something else. The Breakfast Club, I haven't said this for a long time, but this is not the place to make contacts and go try to introduce people to your programs, other programs or other things. And if you're doing something other than working with KB, do not do that. We have, in the past, totally restricted people coming in back to the Breakfast Club, and actually I'll use the word kick them out of here, and they're never allowed back here. I know who they are, so they don't get back here. So please don't do that. Just be respectful of the fact that we've announced who they are and other people's names, and don't go try to look them up and take them to other places. So anyway, Deanna, good morning, and Boomer and Taylor and Dr. D. So welcome. Anyway, you want to say hello? You can talk, guys. Everybody can talk here. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe, you're good.
Yep.
There you go.
Nice to be here.
All right, well, good. I still don't see Joe. Something must be up with Joe, so I don't see it. First time I've ever seen that, so I wonder if he's struggling to get in here. So if you could Skype him or something. And
I did. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Okay.
All right. Well, anyway, let's talk about a few things. I was going to go to Joe for some updates, but Boomer, is there anything that you know of that we want to bring people up to date with?
No, just our promotional package to advance your ranking. Most people, I think, are aware of that, but maybe not everybody. I think it's vitally important to know that the company in its history has made promotions to help us in the field create more volume and advance our money. So I think we will see even more and more promotions as they come. I know that in certain areas they even do trips and things like that. That's in another section. But I think if you focus on creating your own contracts, I think that you're just going to watch the money explode. That's what I'm watching right now. We have had a slew of people step up and say, you know what, it's just, okay, you don't have to bang me on the head anymore. It totally makes sense. I don't know why I didn't fund before. So yeah. With that, I think we should just focus on what we have, the promotion that they've got, and love to hear from some of the power women out there and your perspectives on things. I think it's vitally important to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted everybody to know this. First of all, 5-star on your telephone keypad is will get you to raising your hand and asking questions. Still getting noise. Somebody's got noise on their phone here. Be careful. I don't know if it's the wind or whatever it is, but I hear it. It's a lot of movement on the phone. So again, be careful. So 5-star on your telephone keypad will raise your hand, and we'll get to those when and if we can. I wanted to make sure that everybody understood a couple of things here today, but I wanted to also make sure what we understand. I made a mistake the other day when I said Tuesday and Thursday evenings. It is not going to be Tuesday and Thursday evenings for a Breakfast Club nighttime issue or nighttime call. It's going to be Mondays and Wednesdays, so I apologize for that. And it will start on Monday, and we're working with a couple of people that will be on that call as much as they can, and one is Taylor and Deanna Kennedy. Deanna is a long-time veteran of the industry. I say long-time, I'm not sure how many years it is, Deanna, but I know that you've had success in other companies. Well, one other company, really, your first company, and are still active with that company, and have learned a lot from a lot of the people in the industry, and the teachers, and learning how to. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you came to the industry, first of all, and what you're going to bring to the table on Monday night, what we'll be looking for on Monday and Wednesday nights. It's really some education, some input from women on what they're doing and how they're meeting with their team. And I know you meet with Tom Richardson all the time, and your team is pretty much meeting and strategizing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, a little bit about your background, you came here, and what you're doing here at KB.
Sure. Thanks, Joe. I guess my story starts back with my mom and dad, because they were both entrepreneurs, and I kind of cut my teeth with their business and then moved on to the music industry and traveled the U.S. with lots of major acts, and then built my own recording studio, and just got that love of owning my own business. And beyond that, I started 2 other businesses in the St. Paul area and operated them for about 13 years. And it was there that I really learned how to work. Whoa, it's hard work to own a brick and mortar business. Long hours. It was like 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it just incredibly difficult to do. Although satisfying, it certainly was a satisfying thing to do. But that all changed when I was introduced to a product called Zango. I didn't even know at that point what MLM was. I mean, I saw somebody, one of my upline, write that on a board, and I'm going, what is that? Actually, I hosted the meeting in my store, and he's writing all these things on this whiteboard, and I'm thinking, what the heck is this? What is MLM? Only to discover that I enjoyed that, and that I could do it within the confines of the 4 walls of my brick and mortar business, because that's the only way I could do it. And it only took me about 5 months from the day I got into it to earn a residual income of about $2,000 a month, which definitely hadn't happened with the actual brick and mortar business.
Yeah.
To say nothing of the fact that it only cost me $35 to get into it, and of course my other business cost me about $300,000. Plus, it took about that much per year to operate. I was astounded. I mean, I actually sat down at one of the tables in my retail store, put that bottle up on the counter, and went, yikes, how can I do this better? How can I do this better? Well, the first thing that I realized was that I didn't want to work that hard. I didn't want to work physically that hard anymore. Once I realized there was an easier and better actually better. It wasn't that it was easier, it was better way to do it. So I just went on to figure out how I could do it. How could I understand and learn this business to the best of my ability? And I think now with the onset of KB is even a better opportunity, because first of all, it's absolutely free, and second of all, you're only trading your declining dollar bills in for actual gold. You're not consuming something. It's your choice when you want to spend that money. Totally different concept, but I love it, and finding it interesting, motivating.
Yeah, tell me about your team that you're meeting with Tom Richardson. Tom is one
Sure.
of your personal referrals, and tell us about what's going on with you two.
Sure. Well, one of the things I've always believed in, no matter what kind of business you're in, is that you really have to have a core team. And I think that's certainly the case for home-based businesses. When I first got into the home-based business arena, which incidentally, Joe, was about 8 years ago, somebody said, this is the perfect opportunity to choose the perfect business partner for yourself. And that was an interesting thought to me. So I kind of mulled over, who would that be? And it took me about a nanosecond to figure out that it would be Tom Richardson. He was somebody that I had known and admired for several years, because he actually created a business model for my friend and Tom's daughter, Lori, for a very successful business that still is in operation today. So I had no problem thinking of who my first go-to person would be, and that was Tom. And he was my first sign-up in my Zango business, and he was my first registration in KB. Tom has been just an absolutely great mentor and business person. He's been in the corporate world. He was a teacher to begin with, and then transitioned into the corporate world, and basically was a VP for a company that you'd all recognize. And just a vast amount of wisdom. I mean, even there have been times when I would be thinking, oh my gosh, Tom, really, you think that's the way it is? And I would even come up against him, and challenge him a little bit, only to always have been turned around to his way of thinking, because he had the wisdom and the experience. And that goes back to what I just said about creating a core team. You absolutely, in my belief, have to have a core team of people that you can figure this out, work with. And I really believe that a key to success in a business, and especially in KB, is to have that kind of a team. And therefore, I think you need to look for those kinds of people to surround yourself with. Does that make sense?
What are you guys doing? Do you meet like once a week? What are you doing with?
Oh, absolutely. Tom and I meet as often as possible. We talk every day to every other day, and we meet as often as we can. Even 2-3 times a week, and pull in the people that we are bringing into the business. The people that are people that understand this kind of business. That's something that we discuss all the time. Is just the observation that we've made in this business, in the home-based business arena, that the core people that you bring into your group should really be people that understand business. They need to understand the difference between being an employee and being an employer. And there's a great difference in the two, and that's one of the things that I'll be speaking to in our women's group here that you're hosting, Joe, is how to identify the difference in a person and how to make that work for your core team. And this is something that Tom and I talk about all the time, and his extreme wisdom in this area has really helped me see the light.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Taylor, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. We've spent a little bit of time together the last couple of days, so why don't we just cover a little bit here with, some of your background. I know I've discovered where you've been and impressed, actually, with some of the stuff you know and learn and want to learn, and what's going on with you and KB. So what's your background a little bit? Tell us about where you came from.
Well, my background, I was first introduced to the network marketing industry back in mid-'90s, and that was with Amway. And I got on board, but my husband didn't. So I actually stayed in with Amway and I think worked very, very hard for 7 years. I was with Amway for 5, and then their sister company that they launched, the online company, Quickstar, I think that was in 2000. I went on with them, and so it was a total of 7 years. And I worked hard. I learned some wonderful principles with the company. It was a great experience for me. I don't have any regrets at all. I never did reach the level that I wanted to, even though I did work hard. And for various reasons, and this was when we lived up in Connecticut, I decided when we made the decision to move down here to Jersey, where my husband was born and raised, that it was time to move on. So I actually I got into taking some classes from home for medical transcription. And so I studied that for about 2 years and pursued that for about 3 years once we moved down here. But I decided that working for someone else and doing something that I wasn't really enjoying, not to mention the pay was not as good as I thought it was going to be, was not sitting well with me. So I decided to move on again. And I really realized at that point that one of the things that Amway training did instill in me was that I did have an entrepreneurial spirit. I loved being a businesswoman. I loved being my own boss and not having to go to work and have a boss tell me what I was worth and when to report and when I could vacation, et cetera. So I really realized that's where my heart laid. And when after medical transcription, I wanted to continue working from home. So I did. And eventually, over the last 6 years, I got in 2 other MLMs or network marketing companies, both of which do not exist anymore. One of them was with a TV infomercial company, and I was with that company for about 1.5 years, and then they went under. And meanwhile, in between these 2 companies, the MLMs, I was picking up other work from home, pretty much in the marketing industry, sales and marketing. The other MLM that I went with was with a car insurance company. That no longer exists, but I was with them probably for about 6 months. It was really, the decision I made to get in there was based upon the previous business people I had been in with ITV Ventures, and I realized it just was not my passion. I was not enjoying the work I was doing. When I started seeing people leave from management, that was kind of a red flag for me. And being honest about not liking what I was doing, I decided to leave from there. And of course, it was a good decision because, like I said, the company no longer exists. So meanwhile, I did pick up some more jobs working from home. And it was about 1 year ago today that I received an email from someone about KB Vision. And I had always loved gold and silver. As a matter of fact, I had been talking to my husband as we were watching over the last 3 years or so what gold and silver were doing, and being concerned about our depreciating dollar and the printing of all the paper fiat currency. I continued to tell my husband, we need to start buying gold and silver, but we just didn't know who to go to, who to buy from. We didn't know anything about the metal itself, and so we just put it off. And so anyway, I got the email from a person about KB Vision. It just so happened it was a Sunday night. There was actually a conference call scheduled for that night, so I got on the conference call. I was very excited about what I heard. Actually, Britt Gober at that point was on the call. He gave his phone number out, his cell number, and I took down that number, and I called him right after that conference call. And I didn't think he was going to answer, but he did. He picked up, and we must have talked for a good 45 minutes, and I liked what Britt had to say. I had a very good feeling about him, and so I was excited, needless to say. And then my husband and I were both on the webinar that was promoted to us 2 days later on Tuesday with Jimmy Larson. And after that webinar, I was in. My husband backed me up 100%. He hasn't been real active in building the business. He has contacted some folks, but I'm really the person here that's working the business. But I have his support, and that's what counts. So I've been in and very excited all along. I realized just being a student of the system and asking the leaders for help here from Britt Gober on down through my upline over the months. I was on all the calls. I was constantly in touch with them, and just a good student of the system and very excited and understood what we had our hands on here. And I'm really glad I've hung in, and I hope a lot of you out there feel the same way, because if you don't understand yet what we have our hands on, hang in and get on all the training calls you possibly can, because when you really understand what KB is about and the product we have and where we're going, you will also be very excited and hopefully make the decision to move forward with KB. So I've just been a good student of the system, Joe. I'm very excited about the company and this awesome product, and the timing could not be better. The timing is everything, and the timing is right to build this business. So that's my experience. That's my sharing for today, and I'm just really glad to be on board. Thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, you're welcome. And
Awesome,
we're excited as well. And, we've been talking and speaking the last couple of days, and you're also going to be a good teacher. You are probably. We haven't experienced that yet, but you're also a very good student, which makes a good teacher. We've been working on some things, and so it brings us to a couple of these questions. Boomer, you want to add a couple things here? I know you know Taylor and work with her, but maybe you want to jump in with some comments here.
You know what? I love about KB? We got killer people with character in it. I mean, I've been around the block, man. I know. I got my battle scars. It's okay. The best part about it is I've never seen the level and the of character and the amount of people that are top level in whatever they do in their fields join in a movement like this. Because this is a little bit more than just money or gold or silver. But
we all know that. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. We all have different styles. We all have different strengths. I wanted to just put this out here today. I wanted to talk about something that I've been working on, which I think will help many people. Tom Richardson, are you on the line?
Let me. I'd have to unmute him if he is. I don't see Tom here today.
Okay.
First time I did.
Well, he was a pro ball player.
Joe, can you hear
Yes.
me? Okay, Tom just tried to call me, but I didn't pick up because I was afraid that I would lose connection with you.
No problem.
I think people are having a hard time.
He's trying to get in.
Okay.
I think people are having a hard time, Dan. I really do.
Okay. No problem. Listen, I've been working on a project called the KB Stadium. This is the first time I'm actually talking about it to a group. What its purpose is to create a duplication system that will provide a results-based predictable income. We will use baseball as an analogy for understanding how the duplication format works. It will be a place to provide recognition for excellence and effort on a volunteer basis. This isn't not making anybody do anything, But if you're somebody who's been looking for something to utilize your strengths together applied in a team, we don't change lines, we're right with our own lines, but a place where you can use your talents and help create an income. It will provide also a measurable activity, a measurable way for activity and productivity. It'll create a fertile environment for winners to win big again. It definitely will attract results-focused, competitive spirit 20%ers. It's optional yet exclusive, but it sets high standards, and it helps create desire to achieve goals through a fun format. Now, it primarily is about rewarding performance for those that do, inviting them to see. I think we all know you can enroll a ton of people in KB and not make a penny. The whole purpose of the accounts were specifically for this, for you to have a simple means to protect the paper money, the wealth that you've created in an easy format, in the largest marketing venture that probably will ever be done. The market that's on the move is certainly the largest market ever done. Fiat paper currencies globally in trouble. They are and will be on the move, going to gold, silver, oil, and probably even uranium-backed money. So with that on the move, we're going to seize part of that market. So what we're looking for, think about a ball team. Is a pitcher have the same talents as an outfielder?
Nope.
No. So instead of trying to make everybody a superstar in all departments, why not utilize the strengths that we have that we are good at in a team format and create some results, edifying those specific departments or positions that we need. We need people who are experts on funding. They know every single facet of funding there is. Backwards, forwards, easy bonds, bank drafts, credit cards, browsers, whatever it is, from here, wherever you have it. We need experts in that, and people that can do that. We need experts that are good at teaching somebody how to do Skype. You know how long it took me to figure out how to do Skype? I still don't even know it all. That's primarily our main communication tool, right? Prospecting. There's people that are just killer at prospecting, but they're not good at following up. What about the time it takes to qualify people? Do they know how to maneuver on their own website? Do they even have a Team One website set up? I mean, your particular team might utilize different tools. It has nothing to do with that. A Team One website's a free way for anybody, as your team expands globally at a duplication format. It has different languages on it. It doesn't cost somebody a penny. And if you have thoughts about moving your business beyond the boundaries of the United States, you're going to need communication tools and websites in different languages. And Team One website, plain and simple, it's there, it's free, and it works. So, does somebody have one? Training, there's going to be specific individuals that have different training styles. And I always like to say KB in training has been like a buffet table. You can go and eat off the buffet table, and there's going to be lots of different plates there. Now, whatever you put on your plate is definitely going to be different than what somebody else puts on theirs, just in different techniques. So the KB Stadium will be primarily on scoring, and we are going to have, by utilizing the 2-minute call on the phone, and when that's pitching the ball. You pitch the ball, you can strike them out. I take 3 objections before I pass. Boom. I'll come back with a question. And depending on how they answer the question, I'm either going to take a strike to a base hit to get them to the next spot to see more information, or they're out of here. You know how many people there are out there? Tons. then you're going to hit home runs. You're going to hit people that say, my level of interest is a 10. Let's get your account set up right now. And, we're going to have scoring for those that want to participate. Now, the beautiful part about this is going to be this. We're going to create an environment of the stadium of qualified people that are in. Have they funded an account? No. But if you want to get on the dugout and play on a team with a predictable income, people have to fund. So to get in the dugout and play on a team, you have to fund a contract. Now, the beautiful part about funding a contract when you're in the dugout is that the fact that the volume creates a predictable income for everybody that gets in the dugout. So if your goal is to make money in KB, then if you utilize what we do and get your own contract, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have a predictable income. So this isn't about, now, is there different teams in baseball?
Yep, for sure.
Don't they have a little bit different teaching style?
They do.
But they all score the same, don't they?
They do.
So it's gonna take a core of individuals who say, all right, let me take a look at the stadium. I want to get in the dugout. Let's play. And as more people see that predictable incomes can be created, more people will want to come out of the stands and come play right alongside the dugout. So we have the people in the stadium, ticket seat holders. We'll have people that are in the dugout, and we'll have people that are on the field. On the field will become also trainers. And once you train people to train, guess what you get back? Time. So we'll utilize the strengths of individuals as opposed to trying to make everybody everything. And with that, the team movement will make money. And as more people come into it, more people make money, which does what? Attracts more people to play. And so we set an environment to reward performance and by doing the things we know that make money. Yeah. And let me ask you this. Once you start opening an account and you make a deposit in that account, because there's some people that were out there waiting for others to make deposits before they made money. Well, that was like putting the cart before the horse. So if people know this, if you structure your business and you're with other people that fund, as you fund their account, if you create more commissions than it took to make your deposit in your account, how much that gold cost you?
Well, time, but no money.
Well, if you open an account, let's say you put 100 euros a month in it, and you made 300 euros a commission, how much money did that next deposit cost you?
Zero. Nothing.
Nothing. The point we need to get across is that we have a specifically highest grade product on the planet in a movement to create a new global currency that's nobody else is doing, create a movement of significance in people's lives. You literally, by creating the environment for winners to win and holding high standards, man, you could literally get time, money, and significance at the same time. I'm going to be rolling this out. A website's being built. It's an optional program. I've run this by leaders. I am not talking about anybody switching lines. I am not talking about somebody else changing their styles from their own particular leadership teams. It's just a method of scoring. And with that, we'll be teaching techniques that might help you be on the field, if you're in the dugout, be on the field in more fashion. And we are looking forward to the leaders in the business taking a look at it, adding their perspectives on it, because it won't happen with a couple of people doing it. We need a good amount of people to start it up in order to facilitate its growth. So I just wanted to put that out to everybody.
Well, I'm excited, and I've been waiting for you to share this, so that's good. And people get an idea, and they'll want to know more, and people are motivated mostly in our industry by curiosity. And everybody will be curious as to what this looks like when it's unfolded, and that's good. I'm glad. And Dan, when do you expect the website to be built?
It's being produced as we speak. It's not on my timetable. Probably will change as we go. Part of that was, what is it that exactly we wanted to put in it? We have the basis of that. I'll let you. We'll debut it as it's gaining under construction. I will cut a couple of short Vmail messages so that I can pass that out in the leadership room, and they can pass it out if they want to. Okay?
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. All right, Taylor, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're muted. Good. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this. I'm going to wrap this up in the next 5 minutes here or so, but I want to just talk a little bit about some of the things you and I are talking about, because that's what's prompted us to look at how to locate interested people. You and I have been talking about a strategy and how you're finding the interested people and where you're going to do that. And the answer, when you ask someone, well, where do I find people? You find them anywhere and everywhere. That's what you do. There's no rule to when, how, when, where, why. You have to realize that in order to get paid, product has to move from manufacturer to consumer. And number two, in order to do that, you've got to find people. You either have to find a customer or you have to find a referral. One of the two. And that's where the purchase happens. And that's how we get paid. So when that stops, we all stop. So we have to be part of a system whereby recruiting never stops. We have to find interested people. We must locate them. And the big thing that comes up here is what are interested people. So I know we've been discussing stuff and strategies, and you are very educated. It's one of the reasons that we are talking, and the reason you'll be part of this on Mondays and Wednesdays. And that's because you have experience here. You have a good background. You had great teachers in the past. And so I'm excited to work with you with this stuff. So I just wanted to bring up and talk to people about how to locate interested people. And one of the things you're doing now is what? Last couple of days we've been working on some things, but how are you finding your interested people? What are you doing?
Oh boy. Well, that is my biggest challenge today, Joe. I told you that is finding interested people, because my husband and I have both been through our friends and relatives list. So didn't get too far with that. But anyway, right now, I mean, I've been one ever since Amway days to cold contact. Do I love to do that? No, but I guess my dream is so very strong, and I want to be so successful as KB that I'm willing to do it. So actually, Joe, what I had discussed with you the other day is I have right now a list of people that actually one of my team members gave me a few months ago before he went off on vacation. He had gotten some leads and didn't work them, and he handed them over to me and said, "Here, take these leads." And for whatever reason, I didn't work them at that point in time, and I'm glad now. So I'm going to go ahead and start working that list of leads. Again, it's a leads list he bought. I don't even know where he got it from the internet, but I'll be working that and playing with this script, Joe, that you've been helping me with, and having fun and practicing and learning as I go, and hopefully we'll bring in some people through that. And then we also talked about the various sites out there where people advertise different businesses, and I am very familiar with Craigslist. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Craigslist, and we certainly talked about, anybody and everybody goes on Craigslist. Anybody that's advertising a business out there, a lot of them put in their names and numbers, and I'm going to go ahead and start pulling up those names and numbers and giving them a call. And I don't care what it is they're doing and how much they're making. It doesn't matter. We all get paid with paper fiat currency. And, I'm just going to try and lead in the conversation as to, if that's the case, of whether they're doing well or not. Are they concerned about, as Boomer would say, all the the paper fiat currency the government's printing out of thin air, and how that's affecting each and every one of us as time goes on. So I'm just going to be pulling leads off different websites out there. Again, Craigslist, Backpage, classified ads. There's a bunch of them, and that's what I had spoken with you about doing. So anyway, hope that answers that.
No, I'm excited for that, because here's the key: is how to locate the interested people. How do you do it? Well, you go to work and you find people to call. It doesn't matter. We talked about buying leads, and I know you have a list of people, and that's great. But I personally, wouldn't buy leads from people. I mean, I wouldn't buy expensive ones. Let's put it that way. I just want names of people who it's okay to call. You can't use phone books anymore. But I told you before, we built a $30,000-$40,000 a month income calling out of a phone book many, many years ago. You can't do that anymore. We just cold called and made the phone calls. We had our scripts. We found the interested people. I think one of the biggest problems is people trying to understand what interested people really means. And so I'm going to clear that up for people today, hopefully, because interested people don't mean interested people in gold. That's not what it means. Or interested people that are interested in juice or vitamins and so on. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for people who are interested. Two things. One, listening to you and looking at something new. That's an interested party. Are they willing to look at somebody? And we have to identify that. Are they really the people that we want to talk to? Are they interested in what we have to say? It doesn't matter if it's gold. I mean, certainly that's our product here. We certainly, at some point, we get to the point of, I see, it's KB Vision, and we educate them through our websites and information and calls about that the product is a gold or precious metals. But what we have to identify first is, do we have a party who is interested in listening to us? Someone that's open is really a better word. And so we're not trying to sit on a call and asking people all kinds of questions and educating them on gold. The first contact you make is exactly what Boomer tells you to do. Do you have 2 minutes right now, or should I call you back a little later? That's what has to happen. You're going to identify the interested party right there. Well, yeah, I have 2 minutes right now. Great. And then we move from there. We need the people to be interested in listening, not so much interested in gold right now. So don't try to educate yourself. You heard Dan just say, we're not experts. Everybody's not an expert. I know nothing about Facebook and things like that. I know how to get there. I know how to look up a few things. Dan's teaching me now about some of that stuff, or has in the past, and I still don't get it. And so I don't get leads from there. But I'm looking for people who are interested in listening, who are open to listening to something new. I don't ask them that question. As you know, Taylor, we've been over some of these scripts. My main thing is, telling them who I am, which is an introduction, then here's the reason I called, and here's what I'd like you to do. I can identify within 1 minute whether I have an interested party. Are they actually willing to listen to what I have to say? That's an interested party. Forget about trying to educate people on their, on our product and our company and so on. Your goal initially, regardless of who it is to find out, are they a follower? And that's really a better term. Most people are followers, not leaders. So you have to find out, are you willing to listen to what I have to say, or what I have to play for you, or for you to listen to, for a website to go to, whatever tool you're using. I happen to like the 2-minute call, and the way we introduce people is making the phone call, and here's what I'd like you to do, and listen to the call. So the script. We're not going to go through any scripts today, but it's important that we follow a system. If that's the system you're using, then follow it and teach your people to do it. So we have to locate interested people, whether it's a referral or just for product. Personally, if every referral, every affiliate, every person who came aboard and said, I'd like to make money, purchase gold, you wouldn't have to worry about asking people just to buy gold and don't be an affiliate. The affiliate program would absolutely support itself and support our income. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way all the time. So what we certainly find customers who don't do anything. And I think sometimes we look at our team and go, they're not funding. And so they're, certainly they're not working in the company. They're not doing anything here. And you don't spend time with those people. You only spend time with interested people, people that want to listen to what you have to say, people that want to follow. And that is most of the people. They fit into that category. But are they willing to do it? And that's what we have to identify. So, you have to get a plan down, though. You have to decide what is it that you're going to say when you call. You can't just call up and start talking about gold. And another thing we talked about, Taylor, is that, finding out about that person. I do not believe in bonding with anybody the first time you call. I'm not interested in that. And finding out how the weather is in Iowa, I'm not interested in. I don't care. I want to know, are you an interested party? And through good communication, I want to know just through good communication, quick questions. Do I have an interested party? After I see you're interested, we'll find out about your weather, your parties, your what you're doing in your life. That's great. You can start bonding. But initially, it was taught for many years to get on the call, and it's no wonder people wouldn't make calls. It's because they get on the call and they start asking questions to a person they didn't even know. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to leave you with this. Terminology, perception, it has to make sense. The terminology you use creates the perception, or should create the perception that you want, which has to make sense to the person you are giving the information to. It doesn't make sense to me if somebody calls me up and says, "Hi, Joe, how are you?" wants to talk to me and then asks me where I grew up and how I'm doing today and how's life going. None of your business, basically. So, anyway, with that, Dan, that's what I wanted to cover today. With some
you're dead right. You're dead on. That is it. We're in the sifting process. Let me tell you what. You pick up the phone and you call somebody that's really busy. I mean, really busy, and maybe they make good money, and you're gonna try and talk to them about making money. Hey, I already make good money. I don't need anything else to be busy. I'm busy enough. You talk to me about making residual income so I can buy back my time paid out in gold bullion. Okay, I'm listening. What do you got? Right? And the next thing you're going to want to know is, I'm already busy with my time, so what exactly am I going to be doing to get the best use of the little time that I have to help create this, because I can't stop what I'm doing. And that was the purpose of the 2-minute call, to make a simple format to sift people out. I'm pitching the ball. You're going to swing at it. You're going to strike out. We're going to reward people for striking people out. We're going to turn the rejection that some people, which is only perception, right? We're going to turn that into scoring points, baby. Because if you try to strike somebody out, guess what? You're going to find people who get base hits and home runs, right?
Right.
Remember, the best hitters with the most home runs only hit 3 out of 10 balls. That's it. They're batting 300. That means 7 out of 10 times they struck out.
Absolutely. That's absolutely correct. It's amazing. If you do that in football, you'd be out. But 3 out of 10 base hits in any hit in baseball, and you're a superstar, basically. 300 hitters are superstars. So, fortunately, but look, that would be great if we can get 3 out of 10. But we've got to do some volume here. And, as far as phone calls are concerned, you've got to talk to enough people to find the interested people. So, with that, I'm a Boomer. Thanks for being here, Taylor. I appreciate it, and welcome you to be here all the time with us now. And you, Dan, thanks for being here. I'm going to let you close out with your wisdom, and we'll get on our road here. And Deanna Kennedy, I see you must have got kicked off. You're back here. Thank you. And thanks for sharing today, and also welcome you and your educational skills in the future. And we'll be getting ready for that, Dan, for Monday to go in and let people, and we'll be announcing that and let people hear from the women in the business. So those of you that want to participate or want to share and so on, I don't see any calls here today, any hands raised, but *5 or 5-star would do that if you want to do that real quick. We are getting very close to getting out of here. So with that, no hands. Dan, over to you. Have a fun day, everybody. This is Joe Shoop. Dan, go ahead.
Well, thanks, Deanna. Thanks, Taylor. Thanks, Joe. Listen, today we have kvgoldevents.com is our Thursday noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time, questions and answers session for all the reps. I'm a firm believer in driving traffic to the knowledge instead of trying to be all the knowledge. More people can do that. So kbgoldevents.com, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And if you have some questions, a great place to voice your form. It's a once-a-week meeting in that type fashion. We also check for more details on mykbgold.us, mykbgold.us, on the More tab under Scheduled Events. You also find some updated videos. We are in the process of making some more videos and tools available, and we want you to win, but we want you to be equipped too. So with that,
wait a minute, Boomer, wait, Boomer, hold on. Dennis, he got kicked off a few times here. Dennis, are you there?
Great.
I want him to say hello and goodbye here. I don't want to miss some wisdom from one of our big leaders here. Dennis, can you hear me? Dennis, I don't know where. Maybe he got back on and off again. All right, he's got kicked off again, I guess. Okay, there he did get kicked off again. He's having a hard time up there. All right, well, anyway, go ahead, Dan. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's what we got going now. Everybody, it's a Labor Day weekend, and I trust that everybody takes some time with their families, and blessings on all of you.
Have a fun day, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks, leaders.